right, so from number one issue to another, from DC, we get Power Girl by Jimmy Palmiotti, Justin Gray, the team that brings you Jonah Hex every month, and artwork by Amanda Connor, which, to me, having Amanda Connor work on this book is as obvious and as welcome as Gail Simone on Wonder Woman.
Well, because she actually did do the Power Girl miniseries,
right?
A couple years ago too,
right?
So it was only
but it just makes perfect sense to have her do it. She has a great sensibility to her work. This is something I really like Amanda Connor's artwork because it does have it's very vibrant. It's got energy. It keeps you going. It propels the story along. She does great layouts. It's very consistent throughout. And there's a sense of also humor and whimsy in those scenes when Power Girl is just talking to people, and everyone's got to stare at her boobs. Although my question is, if you don't want people checking them out, don't put them out there for the world to see. I mean, you got them on display,
Well, no, but when people were checking them out, it was when she was in her civvies.
That too, but even then. Although, what was it? What was the rationale behind her suit? Was that if you're checking out her boobs, you don't see that right cross coming?
Well, the whole joke. Who is it? Was it Wally Wood who created her?
Yes.
And that was the running joke with Wally Wood when he was drawing her back in the day when they first created her. It is Wally Wood, right? Because I don't want to get this wrong. But
I want to say yes.
Okay. Well, if not, then you're going to do another annotation right now saying that, we're fucking wrong. It was so-and-so. I want to think it was Wally Wood because this is the story behind Power Girl and her big boobs. Back when Wally Wood was drawing her, he purposefully, every issue, made her breasts bigger and bigger to see how big he could get them before DC editorial said, you gotta stop doing that. So that's actually what happened, is every issue, her breasts got bigger and bigger because that was kind of the joke that he was doing. He's like, I want to see how, it's just an artist kind of thing. And DC finally at one point said, all right, dude, enough's enough. So that's kind of the whole joke story behind her.
Well, I think there was a case of an Adam Hughes cover where he made them a little too big, and DC made him shrink them. So
yeah, well, Adam Hughes did the cover to this too.
No, it was a different cover.
No, I know. I think I know which one you're talking about. But the explanation that they gave as to why she doesn't have anything there is because, and I don't know if this was in the miniseries or where it was explained, but she, at the time, felt lost because she's Power Girl's from Earth 2.
Right.
Right? And she is a Supergirl of Earth 2.
Right.
Because she's the cousin of
Kal-El.
Kal-El.
Letter L.
So, this is the explanation. I'm not saying I agree with this, but the explanation that they gave was that the reason she doesn't have everything is because she feels empty and hollow inside, and she doesn't wear the Superman logo because she didn't know where she belonged and stuff like that. So that was the explanation that they gave behind that back in the day. But
as for the book itself,
but man, there's so much talking in here.
But there's also a lot of action in here too.
Yeah,
I mean, it bounces between the two, which goes to show this book covers a lot of ground, and a lot of stuff happens in this book.
And this is only a standard 22-page book too.
Yeah,
and a lot of stuff did happen in this issue.
And it goes back, and then just when you think, and even with the talking, I mean, there's a little bit of humor, a
lot of humor,
a lot of stuff going on there.
A lot of humor, a lot of seriousness. I mean, this book is all over the place. It covers a lot of the spectrum.
But it's done. It's handled very, very well, and I think Power Girl is one of those great franchise characters that she deserves this kind of attention. And again, Jimmy Palmiotti and Justin Gray are a superior writing duo. They know characters. They know how to write characters. The whole way about how Karen Starr is reestablishing herself in New York City and the company that she sets up. And how the rationale behind that.
Yeah, and it is kind of cool because it's it's a character that's like she's starting up the company Starware Labs, and then it's to help the planet.
Yeah, help the environment and
the
technology,
environment.
and It makes a lot of sense. Although the one thing that doesn't make sense is how she says she wants to reestablish a secret identity.
Yeah.
How are you going to do that unless you wear a mask? Because people, you got the same boobs. You're a blonde. It's not like she's putting on glasses like Clark Kent does.
I totally agree.
So I'm a little confused as how she's going to pull that off, but who knows? Maybe she'll start wearing a wig like Supergirl used to back in the day. Good book, though. No, good book. I really, that's the only thing. This is just a really fine first issue to start Power Girl off, and
the last page of this where Power Girl's is given a choice. This kind of reminded me of again, kind of like a comic from the 80s. It was. I remember when I was first getting into Spider-Man, and back then when I was buying comics, I usually bought comics, especially back issues, just for the cover. Mm-hmm. Like if the cover. And I remember there was an issue of Amazing Spider-Man with the villain The Answer. Okay, and he's on top of this rooftop, and on one hand he has a bomb, and he's on top of this roof. He's on a ledge. In one hand he has a bomb, and the other he's holding the black cat, and he's going to Spider-Man. He goes, Spider-Man, you have a choice. You can either save the city by defusing the bomb or saving the black cat. But either way, the answer wins. And I was like, oh my god, I need to see what happens in that issue. And this kind of reminded me of that. Like answer, the last page, right. Just reminded me like how just fun even the covers used to be to comic books, and it was a fun book. It really was.
And this is a fun book, so we highly recommend it. All right, when we come back, we're going to have a hit on a book that you guys actually asked us to read, and I don't know if I'm happy with you all about that or not. We'll see you then.